I was deeply offended. Will you accept me as a monogamy? I'm not trying to be cruel to Robyn, and yet it's just heartbreaking to her when the reality finally hits right in front of her.
Robyn, I promise you, no one is jealous. Seriously, no one cares about you finding a new church to marry your daughters off at. And no, you didn't have expectations that were too high for your sister wives. You simply picked a family where you could manipulate the man, secure that legal marriage, drain the finances, and contribute absolutely nothing. It's truly mind-boggling how this woman's narcissism fuels her constant martyrdom. She knows full well she emotionally, financially, and psychologically took advantage of an entire family, but she has to keep playing the victim to maintain any shred of public sympathy or support. It's honestly disgusting. And let's talk about those high expectations she had for her sister wives. I couldn't help but laugh when she said that. The woman played the victim every single time she didn't get her way or someone complained. I honestly wonder if she thinks we're all buying it, or if she just enjoys hearing herself talk. Honestly, if it weren't for Robyn, the OG3 might have never snapped out of their delusion that they had to stick with Kody forever. So in a way, I guess we should thank her for opening their eyes to how terribly Kody was treating them, and for helping them move on. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Kody's casual comment, "We probably went home and made love after the legal divorce was finalized," really hit me in the face. It was like he just tossed that out there, hoping it would land somewhere meaningful. Here's the thing, sex isn't something you probably do. It either happens or it doesn't. There's no room for speculation when it comes to that kind of physical event. I get what he was trying to do, minimize the whole legal divorce by calling it a paperwork shuffle. Oh, I despise that term. He's saying that nothing would change between him and Meri, so it was no big deal. But by casually mentioning probably making love afterward, it's like he's trying to throw out some random fact, whether true or not, just to see if it sticks. And it doesn't. It just makes him look gross. What makes it worse is that Kody has always kept the intimate side of his relationships private. So private, in fact, that if someone asked about it, he'd get all huffy and say something like, "I'm not answering that." Suddenly, he's throwing out this weird, personal detail like it's no big deal. It feels like a deliberate slap in the face. Meri called him out on it too, pointing out that he would never say something like that about his current wife. And you know what? She's right. It's not just a careless comment, it's Kody using intimacy as some kind of weapon against Meri. You can tell she's a genuinely affectionate person, but Kody's neglect pushed her into a place where she was emotionally and physically starved for connection. Let's not forget the catfish situation. Everyone's quick to bash Meri, but that person didn't just show up out of nowhere. They homed in on the cracks in her relationship with Kody and the family, slowly breaking her down emotionally before asking for intimate photos. She didn't just jump into that, it was the result of neglect. And Kody? He stood by while it all happened. I've been watching since day one, and let me tell you, that was absolutely my favorite episode. They finally did it. They admitted to all the manipulation from the start. Robyn's reaction to even the mention of planting the idea of being the legal wife was so awkward, it was practically screaming, "Yeah, it's 100% true." And I thought nothing could top Kody's grand presentation about moving, but clearly, I was wrong. If this show wants to keep going, the OGs need to start spilling all the tea. Like all of it. Christine's relationship is old news, and honestly, we've seen enough of Robyn and her kids to last a lifetime. What we really want is for Meri to just come clean and finally admit they totally manipulated her into that disastrous divorce. Seriously, that was one of the cruelest things they did to the wives. And now we've got confirmation the catfish stuff came after the divorce. Shocking, right? I haven't seen any posts yet. Maybe I'm just bad at Reddit and missed it. But can we talk about how weird those scenes with Aurora Brianna church shopping were? From the way they matched Robyn's outfits to the way they carried their purses in the exact same manner, it was like watching a carbon copy of Robyn in the making. Then there's Aurora, who somehow gets so emotional whenever she tries to talk to Kody about anything. It was just odd. And these girls are supposed to be 21 and 18, according to Al Gore's internet, because who doesn't trust a search engine, right? I'm curious if anyone else feels the same way. Like, why does Aurora cry so much? I don't get it either. But then again, Robyn is obsessed with the word safe. Now Kody's picked it up too. It's like if something makes Robyn even a little uncomfortable, like being held accountable, for instance, she just calls it unsafe. It's a little unsettling to think that she's trained her daughters to view the world the same way. Everything becomes about safety, fear, and playing the victim. Honestly, it's no surprise they're not really equipped to stand on their own as adults. What really got to me was when the girls asked Robyn to come with them for support, and in the meeting with the pastor, Robyn just went on and on about herself and her faith. Aurora spoke once, and Brianna didn't say anything at all. Of course, the conversation ended up being all about Robyn yet again. It's like nothing ever really isn't about her. Robyn's suggestion that Kody should divorce his first wife, the one he's actually legally married to, just so he can marry her and adopt her kids is absolutely bonkers, right? She's acting like this is some normal thing that should happen, or that it's something people actually do. Newsflash, it's not. It's insane. And of course, she plays the victim in her confessionals, pretending she never wanted a legal marriage, making it seem like everyone else forced her into it just so she could adopt her kids. Funny though, because Janelle, Meri, and Christine all say she's been talking about this for ages. In fact, Meri even said the idea's been on the table for years. It's like all our theories were spot on, that they planted this idea in Meri's head to take the first step. Talk about a master manipulator. Then there's the classic Robyn move, claiming she feels gaslighted by the family, when in reality, she's the one doing the gaslighting. She pretends to be clueless, acting all innocent, while in reality, she's playing the long con. I honestly don't know how she manages to lie so confidently on national TV. It's a skill, I'll give her that. It's clear she's furious that all the lies are coming to light, and now she's scrambling to rewrite the narrative. She knows we all see through her and Kody, and now the truth's out. She's the one who pushed for Meri's divorce, and she's faking her tears about how deeply it affects her. Everything's always about Robyn, isn't it? At this point, it's just exhausting. She's desperate to deny everything now that the lies are unraveling. There's no way Christine made up the story about Robyn planting the idea of getting Meri divorced. From day one, Robyn's been scheming and manipulating to get what she wants. She and Kody are both just narcissistic, self-centered assholes. Robyn thinks she's clever, classic narcissist behavior. They always think they're one step ahead, but in reality, they overplay their hand and get caught. Her manipulative tactics worked for a while, but now, after so many years of being on the show, people see the patterns. The words never match the actions, and now that the original three have escaped, everything they suspected is confirmed. It's hard to keep up the facade when people are constantly watching and documenting your every move. Anyone else just praying to see Robyn take a tumble on the four-wheeler? They teased it in the preview, and honestly, I'm crossing my fingers with every new episode, hoping we'll finally get the moment. You just know TLC is going to blast some over-the-top, dramatic music when it happens, but we all really know she'll be totally fine. Probably just another wild stunt like her little ER adventure during COVID. I think I'm really close to being done with Sister Wives. I'm rewatching from the beginning, and now that I'm on season 11, I just can't continue. The signs are hard to ignore now. The lack of emotion during the couch talks, the the contradictions, and the inconsistencies in what they say. I would love to keep up with the OG3 and the kids, but honestly, Kody and Robyn have made it tough. The latest episode in season 19 seems like a clear attempt to redeem themselves and get more screen time, but watching the two daughters is just difficult. It's really hard to see them so sad. It's like watching a car crash, hard to look away, but I feel like my life would be better if I just let it go. Does anyone else feel this way? I rewatched the show this summer, and now that I've learned more from this sub, I realize how much I missed before. I used to just enjoy it as a guilty pleasure, intrigued by polygamy. But now, it's hard not to feel sad for the family, and it's starting to feel more exhausting than entertaining. This new season is really pushing me to my limit. Meri keeps saying, "Guys, Kody doesn't want me anymore. We're done. We're not married." Like Meri, we've known that for years. It's a little late to be discovering that. Then there's Christine and David. I do like them, but we get it. You're in love. It's great, but maybe stop repeating it so much. Meanwhile, Kody's just going around in circles. Robyn keeps bringing up her struggles with the other wives, and now her kids suddenly have something to say about church. I didn't even know they had that much to share. And as for Janelle, she's decided to bow out entirely. It's starting to feel like the same things over and over, and honestly, it's just not as interesting anymore. It's almost like they're realizing what viewers have been saying for a long time. Robyn's intelligence and critical thinking skills are, well, let's just say I've never exactly thought she was the sharpest tool in the shed. But hearing her speak in this episode really nails it home. She's not just a product of being brainwashed from a young age, she's also missing a few cards in her deck. When she says she'd do plural marriage again, if there was a guarantee it would turn out well, I mean, that's basically the opposite of what having faith in anything, God, religion, life itself, is about. Faith is built on uncertainty, right? But apparently, Robyn missed that memo. Honestly, this woman needs to stop buying all the random clutter and get herself a library card. As an English or ELD teacher, I can't help but cringe at how limited her vocabulary is. If one of my high school students turned in writing that sounded like Robyn's speech, and let's be real, sometimes it does, I'd be making them Google synonyms or hand them a word bank. It's infuriating how little variety she has in her language. Oh, and the baby talk? No, just no. I'm pretty sure this is how she and her partner argue, completely immature and bizarre. Then there's the constant need for her to repeat everything you just said, like she's processing things in slow motion. Every single time. Honestly, it makes me wonder, what does she do with her day? She doesn't work. She doesn't read. What is Robyn actually contributing to the world? This latest episode was an absolute train wreck, painfully redundant, full of nonsense, and just plain annoying. Robyn has been so concerned for years, yet she waited around for her children to ask if they could go back. Really? That was her big move. Beyond ridiculous. Then there's the moment where Robyn says she didn't want Kody to divorce Meri and marry her. Seriously? Who's buying that? I do have to admit, though, the show did a great job of showing her reaction when it actually happened. It was pure comedy. This woman is completely unhinged. And of course, we're still rehashing the whole Meri and Kody saga with their friends. I'm only 23 minutes in, and I'm already questioning why I'm still watching. The kids used to be what kept me hooked, but now that they've grown up, we're stuck with these adults who are so much less interesting. It's like Little People Big World all over again. The kids grow up, and suddenly the show loses all its charm. If the legal marriage meant so little to Robyn, why didn't they just divorce after the adoption was finalized? I mean, I've never seen someone complain so much after winning the whole game. And can we talk about Christine? Thank goodness she's finally telling the truth. Everyone has been saying for years that Robyn was the one behind the legal divorce between Meri and Kody. Looks like the fan theory is real after all. So Robyn is now suggesting that plural husband should totally divorce his first wife, you know, the one he's legally married to, just so he can marry her and adopt her kids. Like it's a totally normal, everyday thing, right? Just another Tuesday. This can't be real, right? I mean, how is this even a suggestion that's taken seriously? It's absolutely bonkers. And of course, in her confessional, she pulls the classic, "Oh, I didn't want a legal marriage" routine, acting all innocent and claiming she's some poor, helpless victim of circumstances. Apparently, everyone else just forced her into this legal marriage so she could adopt the kids, even though Janelle, Meri, and Christine have all said she's been talking about it for ages. Meri even confirmed that the whole legal marriage thing was discussed years ago. Looks like all our theories about how they planted the idea in Meri's head to take the first step were spot on. And then Robyn has the audacity to claim she feels gaslighted by the family. Seriously? The only one gaslighting here is her, playing dumb for the cameras like she's some innocent bystander in all this. I honestly wish I had her level of confidence to lie on national TV like that. And as for the OG3, not really speaking or getting along. Oh, they just happened to all come together one day and decide to make up the exact same story about Robyn. Right, 3 people who weren't exactly besties at the time are now suddenly all on the same page with this? Nope, not buying it. Meri also admitted she kept putting it off, hoping things would get better with Kody, until she finally caved and said, "Well, we might as well just do it." So she's been procrastinating for years, which, surprise, surprise, started around the time Kody spiritually married Robyn. Oh, and speaking of this whole legal divorce business, why was Robyn at the lawyer's office when they were signing the divorce papers? And why was she signing paperwork too? Isn't she a little too involved in all of this for someone who's supposedly just the innocent bystander in all this drama? Kody really just says whatever comes to his mind, doesn't he? On one hand, he's whining about the ridiculous petty things, like the luggage rack, now that they're divorced. But on the other hand, he's casually sharing how Meri would freak out if he gave her spearmint gum. Yeah, okay, Kody, make it make sense. Then he pulls the classic move, admitting he never loved Christine, wasn't attracted to her, and regrets marrying her. But wait, he also regrets not being more involved in their wedding. Apparently, it wasn't special enough, and Christine deserved more. But hey, they found their rhythm, so that's a win, right? Honestly, Kody and Robyn could probably fill entire episodes just debating themselves. It's like they're competing for who can sound more contradictory and tone-deaf. In this episode, Kody went all in on being as cruel as possible. The bit where he talks about how dead-eyed he was on their wedding day, it just makes him look like an absolute jackass. He probably thinks it's some sort of insult to Christine, but it really just paints him as a guy who was too eager to collect wives for his ego and couldn't even stand the one he married. Nice job, Tushbag. Yeah, Christine's definitely the problem here, not you. And the way Kody keeps humiliating Christine on TV, yeah, that's not doing him any favors. I don't think it's going to work out well for him when a judge asks truly where she wants to be, considering how often he takes every opportunity to make her mom look bad on national television. Way to sabotage any chance at a decent relationship with his kids. Did Wayne Brown not attend Kody and Christine's wedding? Christine has always said her mom made her wedding dress, but didn't show up because she had left the church and Kody's dad. But last night, Kody dropped a bomb. My dad didn't think it was a big enough deal to show up for. Wait, what? I don't recall hearing that before. If Kody calls Christine royalty, you'd think his dad would show up, at least to honor that connection. Anyone know if Kody or Janelle's moms attended the wedding? Or is Kody just rewriting history again? It sure wouldn't be the first time, especially with 3 of his wives walking out on him. Wynn never approved of Kody marrying Christine, probably because he saw Kody couldn't even handle his relationships with Meri and Janelle, The constant bickering was impossible to ignore. Was this in their book, or did a family member spill the tea years ago? Wynn wasn't blind. She saw Kody for what he was, a terrible husband. She knew he wasn't marrying Christine because of some divine calling, or because he was ready for a third wife. No, he married her because other men were interested, and Christine had a silly crush on him. Wynn knew exactly what Kody was after: ego-stroking and attention. The man was just in it for the polygamous lifestyle's perks, not because he was emotionally equipped to handle it. It's honestly hilarious to watch how the rest of the family just checked out. Kody and Robyn are like drama magnets, always stirring up chaos out of thin air. They can't seem to smile or have fun without making it miserable. Everything has to be negative, someone's gotta complain, and if there's no drama, they'll find a way to make it happen. For years, they thrived off the family bending over backward to please them, creating a constant stream of unnecessary tension. The smallest things turned into massive ordeals, leading to yelling and frustration, and everyone just went along with it. Until finally, the rest of the family had enough and stopped caring. It's honestly so satisfying to watch Kody and Robyn sulk and whine about the family in one scene, only to cut to Meri, Christine, and Janelle living their best lives, totally unbothered. The best part? Even the kids have stopped caring. Sure, it's sad in a way, but it's also eye-opening to see the next generation breaking free from toxic cycles. Like when Maddie said she would protect her kids from Kody's toxicity, I actually had a moment of respect for her. She spent her whole life coddling her dad's fragile emotions, so hearing her take that stand was huge. There's a whole world out there filled with peace and normalcy, and I'm sure for a lot of them, walking away from Kody and Robyn's negativity is a massive breath of fresh air. But it's hard to watch Robyn's daughters, Aurora and Brianna, because it's clear they're still trapped in that toxic bubble. They look constantly anxious, like they're walking on eggshells, and it's heartbreaking. They probably won't get it until they're older, but they'll eventually wake up. I mean, they're in college, they see what real life looks like, and they're both interested in dating, normal, healthy things. But Robyn, she's out here acting like they're going to church to meet more girlfriends. Seriously? No 20-year-old woman is going to church to make friends. Right now, those girls are probably stuck in a situation where their cars are in Kody's name, and they feel like they have no way out. But mark my words, they'll reach out to their siblings for help before they hit 30. They already feel the isolation, or they wouldn't be asking about going to church. They're smart, they're educated, and they want more than what Kody and Robyn have to offer. It might take a while, but one day they'll break free. They'll finish school, realize there's a whole world of opportunity out there, and they'll run as fast as they can to escape the toxic hold their mother and Kody have on them. Homelessness. Better than staying trapped in that circus. People escape cults every day, and Aurora and Brianna will too. Let them finish school, then watch them make their exit. How old is Robyn's daughter again? I'm confused. Robyn has an entire closet full of clothes, and Kody buys himself nice things. But why do Robyn's daughters dress like they're middle-aged housewives? My 12-year-old has more style than those two. They seem so stunted. And honestly, stunted doesn't even begin to cover it. Robyn's done some serious damage, and we haven't even seen the fallout yet. But trust me, it's coming. You can't control people forever, and eventually, something's got to give. I don't know, but if watching them go church shopping is the best storyline they can come up with, they really need to just step away from the show. It's painfully boring. Robyn has raised them to be so bland, they can't even show any personality besides vanilla. Oh, and they're 19 and 21 based on when this was probably filmed. To put that in perspective, Maddie was 20 when she got married, Mykelti was 19 and turned 20 during her wedding season. Hunter was off to the Air Force Academy at 19. Peyton joined the National Guard around 18 or 19, and Garrison was in the National Guard by 18. Meri signing the divorce papers. Honestly, it's hard to believe how much manipulation is at play here. Robyn, in my opinion, only got close to Meri because she saw an opportunity. Meri was weak, and Robyn knew exactly how to exploit that. As for Kody, don't let him fool you. He claims everything was the same when Meri signed those papers, but just look at the smirk on his face. That man was practically giddy. And Robyn's fake tears? Seriously, they're enough to make anyone cringe. Kody and his entire act are disgusting. And then there's Robyn. Let's talk about the way she talks. The sound of her voice alone is enough to drive anyone up the wall. The whole church scene? Don't even get me started. Wasn't that supposed to be about the girls figuring out if they wanted to attend that church? Maybe learn more about it. Instead, Robyn hijacked the entire thing, droning on and on about herself while the girls didn't get a single word in. So typical, just absolutely infuriating. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.